Good morning. I'm here to take you through the key global cues today. In fact, if you look at the Asian stocks, well, they have opened on a positive note despite the fact that virus cases have picked up and concerns about the global economic outlook have weighed on their US peers. In fact, the dampening sentiment was seen in the China factories data, wherein the output has slowed in April and retail sales significantly missed expectations as officials warned of new problems impacting the economic recovery. Stocks in Australia were up close to around 0.5% in trade. Nikkei was up 0.9%, while Kospi was up close to around 0.8% in trade. If you look at the US markets, well, the Dow did cut some losses on Monday as investor bets on cyclical stocks against growth stocks continued amid fears that inflation could force the Federal Reserve into action sooner rather than later. Tech stocks continue to bear the brunt of inflationary concerns amid fears that Federal Reserve could be forced into reining in loose monetary policy sooner than expected. Inflation fears also weighed on the markets, and investors were looking towards Wednesday's release of minutes from the Federal Reserve's most recent meeting to help gauge the central bank's tolerance for pricing pressures in the recovery phase of the COVID pandemic. The yield on the 10-year Treasuries advanced 1 bp to 1.64%. Dow was down 0.16% at 34,328, while the S&P was down close to around 0.3% in trade. Nasdaq was down nearly around 0.4% in trade. If you look at the European stocks, well, the European stocks ended flat on Monday as underwhelming Chinese data and caution over the spread of a COVID-19 variant outweighed optimism on the reopening of the British economy. The Pan-European Stock 600 index ended flat, with travel and leisure stocks being the top losers, down 2.3%, while telecommunications stocks jumped the most, led by gains in Spanish telecom firm Telefonica. Fresh restrictions across Asia following a new wave of COVID-19 cases and concerns over the spread of a fast-spreading COVID variant first identified in India overshadowed optimism on UK's economic reopening. DAX was down 0.13%, while CAC was down 0.3%. FTSE was down close to around 0.15% in trade. Oil did rise 1.5% to $66 a barrel. Oil climbed on the back of economic recovery hopes despite fresh Asian restrictions. If you look at the gold has continued its rise in the last few sessions. It is up. The gold futures are up 1.6% to $1,868 an ounce on the back of fears of rising inflation. Thank you for watching.